everyone, I'm going to show you how to make your wave at home just with whatever you have around you. So for my quote-unquote string, I'm going to use my phone charger, and then that's really all you need. Some things that can make it easier is if you have some tape, it'll make it so that you're not having to hold the thing in place depending on how easy it is to work with. Also, you might want to use something to mark a resting position for your wave. That way it makes the measurements easier. So I'm going to start by making my resting position. So this is just a whiteboard pen. I have one of those like whiteboard calendar things on my refrigerator, so that's why I have these, but you could do this with like pencil and then just erase it. Or if you only have pens, draw it on a piece of paper and tape that down. Like all this is very optional, but it makes it much easier. So I'm just going to kind of draw a straight line. So something like that, there's my resting position. And this kind of gives me something to gauge all of my measurements by. So I'm going to start just by taping down my string. So I have chosen to do card 1, which means I need an amplitude of 3 inches, and I need a wavelength of 17 inches, and then I need to figure out how many wavelengths there is. So amplitude is how tall it is, so basically how high I can go. So basically it's going to go up 3 inches, down 3 inches, up 3 inches, down 3 inches, and then the distance between the crests need to be 17 inches. Now, I don't have a ruler, but you can kind of just gauge approximately what you think that is. So maybe I think, okay, 3 inches, like here's 1, 2, 3. Maybe I think 3 inches is kind of like up here. So same thing here, 1, 2, 3. Maybe I think it's something like down there. So that gives me kind of like the upper and lower limits. So as I start to construct this, it's going to be going up to that line, down to this line, and up. Now the second part is that wavelength, that's 17 inches. So maybe I'll go ahead and tape down my first crest, and it'll be easier to make the second crest from there. And obviously it doesn't need to be perfect whatsoever. So I need 17 inches between this crest and the next one. 17 inches is 1 inch short of like 1.5 feet. That's quite a lot actually. So I don't know, that's almost like off my table. So my next crest needs to be all the way, we'll say it's approximately like right here. So that second crest is gonna come over to about there. So I'll tape that down. So something like that. And so if this continues on, and my cord even goes off the table, so it can kind of just look at like, okay, approximately how many wavelengths will I get? I think I'm only getting like 2 wavelengths because here's one, and then I need to go another 17 inches for the second one. So the amount of wavelengths, they're essentially the length of this, it's going to just be 2, because I have 2 measurements from crest to crest or trough to trough.